People really care about likes and comments more than financial currency. The social currency is more than physical. That's crazy. This is the zombie mentality.
Welcome to the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast, starring Q the Boss.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. They call me Q the Boss. And today, we have a very special topic. Today, we're talking about modern day zombies. I just want you to understand what that means. We live in a very weird world, man. You know, you could have a conversation, and the conversation could make every bit of sense, but yet and still someone can make it not make sense. Listen to how crazy the world is. We live in a world right now where you can make everything extremely make sense, but people are so captivated by what they think that they don't want to hear reality anymore. The zombies are the people that don't live in reality. They live in a fairy tale world. And this is what we're going through right now. Tons of people are so captivated by the cap. It's the cap. You know, you can sit down and have a conversation with someone. I'm going to talk about it. A lot of people are going to get offended. So a guy said to me earlier today, matter of fact, and this one made me talk about it. He said to me, can you change your life doing drugs? I said, bro, where can you abuse a substance and change your life? He's like, what do you mean? I said, bro, this is the reason why people are escaping reality. How do you use something to escape life, but expect that life will be so much greater for you? But you're using something to continuously escape life. In order to fix life, you can't escape life. You have to be present with your reality. But if you're using a substance to continuously escape your reality, you're never going to change your reality. And that's the realities of life. How can someone fix something when they're constantly seeing that they're using a substance that's eliminating their mind? The mind is being fooled, right? You can listen to certain conversations and see that a lot of people talk about the wrong things. This is a major dilemma. You have these conversations with certain people, and then you tell them like, yo, bro, you have to, or sister, you have to live in reality. Look at this. I'll give you a story. And I'm going to tell a lot of stories today. For those who want to call in today, we have a caller. I'm going to let y'all call in early. We got a call already? All right, you can call in 516-253-1150, right? 516-253-1150. You can call in, right? Yes. We're talking about it today. Today, we're talking about this thing. There are a lot of people right now who are so captivated by the cap. You know, we live in a world where there are modern day zombies. They live in a fairy tale world. If it's not substance abuse, it's like materialism. If it's not materialism, it's just like overly compensating for the insecurities. And that's what I'm seeing. Tons of us only hurt each other because we really don't feel confident about ourselves. When you're not confident in yourself, you ultimately want to cause more friction on other people. If you noticed, look at social media. Anytime you talk about something positive, you always have a troll to talk about something negative. That's how you know the world is extremely zombie-like. Insecure people. Tons of people are like that. And it's sad because you're not allowed to talk about anything productive anymore if it's going to make someone get in their feelings. We got to live in a world where we got to get out our feelings. You know, your feelings shouldn't be the totality of what you move on. Sometimes your feelings can make you very impulsive. And when you're impulsive, you're not thinking with a logical mind. And that's the problem. So the guy that we was going back and forth with, he said, hey, I truly believe that I can be successful even though I do drugs. I said, bro, that sounds crazy. There are functioning addicts. And I'm going to go on record and someone's going to get mad that I say this. If you do marijuana or you smoke marijuana, you can be a functioning addict. But an addict is an addict. An addict is one who overly uses a substance. You can be a sugar addict. You can be a sex addict. You can be multiple different types of addicts. But you cannot sit here and tell me that smoking marijuana because it's legal makes you not an addict. That's when you are lying about being an addict. And that's the truth. Somebody give me the definition of an addict. Somebody give me this definition. I'm going to call out the definition because I want people to hear what an addict is. I think there's some people that are addicted to lying. right? They're addicted to lying. This is the definition of addict. An addict is a person who is addicted to a particular substance, typically an illegal drug. So you telling me that just because it's marijuana doesn't mean it's an addict. That's still an addict. Because it's marijuana or not, it's still an addict. And the problem is, let me read this too. Where's that at? An enthusiastic devotee or specific thing or activity, a self-confused chocolate. You can have an addiction to chocolate, all types of different things. So this is the reality. But we live in a world where there's a lot of modern day zombies. People don't live in the realities of the life. They live in a fairy tale world. And the sad part is, social media has given us this forum to lie. And the more you lie about yourself and the more you keep telling yourself the lie, the more your mind believes your own lie. And that's a dangerous mentality because you won't see that your mentality is being stagnated because of the fact that your mind is not growing. Tons of people haven't grown past their fetus stage. They're still in their fetus ways. Their mentality is preserved and they're comfortable being like that because they're not around people who are telling them like, look, this is wrong. Modern day zombies. Let's talk about this thing. Someone call in right now, 516-253-1150. I want you to tell me some of the zombie ways that you see in the world today. It's crazy. Like, how can you know for a fact financially you're not in a good situation, but yet and still go buy everything expensive, put on you to make you feel like you're better than what you are, ultimately to go back to your deprived situation? I find that to be crazy. I told dudes, they said, what made you hustle? I said, what made me hustle is the fact that I wanted to get out the hood. I didn't want to stay in a bad situation pretending as if I was doing well in a bad situation. Because what happens is the mind will tell myself, hey, as long as you look better than everyone around you, you're doing better than everyone else. Modern day zombies. I'm noticing you have men, right? And they're really conflicted brothers. And I'm going to say this, and a lot of men are going to get very defensive over this, but I really don't care. The truth of the matter is, when you're talking to a woman, right, manipulating women, telling women what they want to hear to ultimately fulfill your needs, that is not a pimp. That is not a player. That is not anything special. That is a person that is a liar. Let's call it what it is. Guys, I truly believe that after a certain age, you have to give a woman an option. You have to allow her to make choice. Here's the narrative. This is what I'm here for. This is what I want. And if she's not with it, then she's not with it. But you gave her choice. She would ultimately respect you more. But we don't look at it like that. We remove the woman's ability to have a choice. And then when she's crazy or start wilding, you're like, yo, she is crazy. I'm like, she's not crazy. You're a liar. You manipulated her. You told her what she wanted to hear, and then you got the repercussions of your lying. So now you got to hold yourself accountable to your decisions. That's the reality. But let me guess. The modern day zombies are the ones who's going to mirror and do the same things, ultimately complaining about their poor decision making. It is crazy that so many people make so much poor decisions. Very poor decisions. Let me ask you guys a question on my live today. At what age do the word accountability kick in? At what age? When does someone become accountable? Or I'm asking you guys, when should someone become accountable? I want a lot of engagement today. Someone should call in and talk about this, right? It is a lack of coping. That's how a lot of people do it. My daughter's father needs to hear this. 35, someone said 30, someone said 35. I think a fair age is anywhere from 28 to 30, right? And this is what we need to learn. I told him, so the guy got mad at me because I said, yo, bro, you're hurting women because of the fact that you still haven't healed yourself. And when you tell people that, they get very upset, right? And the truth of the matter is, taking advantage of women, my brothers, is nothing good. I just asked the question is this: how do you expect someone to bless you when you're hurting other people? That don't even make sense. Why would I bless anybody that's hurting others? It don't make sense. And if you believe that, you think sick. And the reality of all things is, how are you going to sit here every day, hurt people, and expect to be blessed? Man, that's the biggest joke I ever heard in my life. If this was a Charlemagne, he'll get the hee-haw of the day, whoever believe that. That's the donkey of the day, right? Because that's the reality. There's no way you can think like that, right? But again, that's what we're talking about the modern day zombies. Their mind is confused and conflicted with the realities of the real world because their mind has been, they established a world in their mind, right? And they believe the most fairy tale things in life. But if you say something against it, they're going to hate you. And the sad part is when you talk about these people, they will ultimately say you're a hater, you're jealous, you're something. Not looking at themselves. Let's put the mirror on ourselves, right? Let's talk about the true essence of life. Taking advantage of people don't make you an alpha male. Come on, anyone that says that otherwise is lying to you. The person that's alpha is the one that's going to lead and ultimately do the right thing. A real man is a man that say, yo, you know what, sister, I really don't have no true intentions, but I want to have some fun. And if she engage in that, that's her choice. But now there's no confusion. There's no argument. There's no debating. There's no war. This was a conscious decision that she made, right? But I think that's what we need to get back to this essence. But let's talk about it. You know, let's talk about these zombies that walk Earth. They really believe that life is just going to happen for them. And it's disheartening because culturally I'm seeing it all around the board. People are just wasting their time every day thinking something is going to change. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing every day but expecting different results. And the sad part is there is a mind right now who believe they'll get different results by doing the wrong things. I find that to be disheartening. Let me say that again. I find it disheartening that a person can consciously believe that I will continue to do all the wrong things, but I'm going to still get the right results. It's not reality. I'm going to tell everybody on my live this today, right? You will never become successful if you aren't successful today, continuing being the person that's holding you back from being successful. Let me say that again. Stay with me. You will never become successful if you don't realize the person that's holding yourself back from being successful is you. If you think it's somebody else, you're sadly mistaken. You're the one that stay around the same audience. You're the one that still go to the same environments. You're the one that's still not willing to do anything that's prominently going to change your life. But let me guess, it's easier to say somebody else, right? It's easier to blame your mother, your father. There's a story that happened in my shop one day, and I thought it was amazing, right? One day, this young kid said, this older guy said to the young guy, you know what's funny? You should be blessed right now because you grew up with your mother and your father in a good home and you had a stable home and your house was good and everything. So the younger guy said, I agree with you. But the older guy said, but y'all so ungrateful. Y'all don't see how blessed y'all are. So the younger guy said to the older guy, you're 100% right. But let me ask you something. The older guy said, what? He said, you have children? He said, yes, I have 3 children. He said, it's funny that your children still live in the hood, but you're blaming your parents for the fact that they didn't get you out the hood, but you're not holding yourself accountable to get your children out the hood. And I looked at the older guy and I said, he has a valid point. He has a valid point. But the older guy got so defensive, he wanted to almost hit the kid. See, what I'm trying to get at is the zombies are the ones that still holding their parents accountable to the poor decisions they may have or may have not known better. There are parents on live and everywhere in this world right now that only did the best they knew they could do. And you got to understand that and look at it from a whole total standpoint. The knowledge that is accessible today was not accessible before. There was no Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. There was no social media. There was no YouTube. There was none of these things when a lot of our parents grew up. And the reality of all things is, how do you hold someone accountable to something they didn't know any better on? And that's what we do. We blame our parents. We blame our neighborhoods. We blame the environments, right? We blame music. We blame everything other than ourselves. I do fault certain things to be a major dilemma of why, right? I do believe that. But I will say this, until a person has become all the way accountable, they'll never be able to change their life, right? Again, I always say the statement, how do you fix what you can't see is broken? The victim mentality is more conscious than ever right now. You can literally be the guy to go into a guy's apartment, get beat up, and still play the victim. That's how crazy the world is right now. You literally cannot, no one's holding themselves accountable to anything. Everyone is making poor decisions. And the sad part about it is, we're gonna force somebody else for the decisions. I wanna turn over a new leaf today. And I want us all to look at ourselves in the mirror and have a conversation with ourselves. And start talking to ourselves about what's going on in our lives that we can fix. You gotta raise your awareness to reality, right? We gotta raise our awareness to reality. If you are a zombie walking in this world blindfolded, right? How can you fix it? You have to open your eyes and see what you're doing wrong. I think that what problem is when you sit down and listen to some of the most successful people, when you look at what you aren't really doing, how are you going to be successful? And most people can't fix things alone. But I always tell people, the people you go around, the places you go, and the things you do will ultimately become you. And that's the truth. People, places, and things are why most people lose. Again, if I'm around people who are unconsciously losing, and why I say unconsciously, because there are people who are unconscious till they're losing. They genuinely believe that they're doing better than what they are. Because the mind can be confused. It can be manipulated. It can be lied to. It can be psychologically brainwashed. There are a lot of people that are brainwashed. So they think like the zombie. They're following each other to do nothing. Let somebody call in right now, 516-253-1150. Someone call in right now. Let's talk about this. 516-253-1150. See, that's the issue. We need to talk about these things. The person that's on my live right now who's venting, call in. Let's talk about it. This is a judgment-free zone. In order for us to fix each other or heal, we have to help each other. This is not for you to call in and for me to talk bad about you when I don't even know your story. I just know it's better for you to be able to express yourself than it is for you to not express yourself. We need to be able to talk. When you're able to talk about your problems, it's easier to heal from your problems. See, trauma only becomes extremely, helps you become stagnated because most people don't believe in talking about their traumas. So if you have a person who is taught not to talk, they ultimately never talk and they never fix the trauma. And you're going to keep carrying the luggage mentally. I call it the baggage claim. You know what the baggage claim? At every airport in America or every bus station, there's something called a terminal. And in the terminal, you have something called a conveyor belt. The conveyor belt is where your luggage go, right? Your mind is that same conveyor belt. When you travel from different state to state to state, all you do is run from your problems with the same mental luggage. And you never, ever heal or fix yourself because in reality, you never was willing to be fixed. So again, when you travel from here to Atlanta, a lot of people are running from their problems. And by running, you think that you're going to become better. But you're never going to become better. Because the reality of all things, as I said again, the mind is like a conveyor belt at an airport. All the mental luggage that you have is in your mind. You carry the same programming to another state thinking that things are going to fix. No, it's you. It's not the world. It's you. What we're going to say is the world. The world is not lazy. It's you that's lazy because you can only control you. You shouldn't be overly observing the world. The world is the world. But you got to see what you're not willing to do. That's the truth. In every situation, when you start observing what you're not willing to do, you'll see that you can fix things by observing what you're willing to do. If I want to be successful, I'm going to do what the successful people are doing. I'm not going to walk around here like a zombie, high all day, talking about my life is going to change for the better. That's not a reality, right? And the sad part is we had a conversation with a guy. He asked me, Q, do me a favor. And I said, what? And for my people on live, I want you to answer this question too. I'm not going to lie, this is my reality. Someone take it personal, I don't care. Reality. He said, Q, name someone you know that gets high on a regular, but they definitely have their life together. I said, let's eliminate rappers, athletes, entertainers, and celebrities and influencers. Let's eliminate these people, right? Because that's a very, very small population of people. Very, 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 very small population. So let's talk about the average people. I said, so someone's getting high on a regular? He goes, yeah. I said, I don't know nobody. He said, what do you mean? I said, I don't know nobody. The guys I know that do that, honestly, if they're not illegally doing something to sustain that habit, or B, they chose a woman that makes an extreme amount of money to offset that expense, they're not doing that great. Most of the guys I know that's doing that actually abuse substance, they tend to live in people's situations. They live with their mom, their grandmother, their girlfriends, their aunts, their uncles. I don't really know no one that owns their own situation that abuses substances. I don't know anybody. But I'm asking you guys on my live, do you know somebody? We're not talking about Snoop Dogs. We're not talking about, right? We're not talking about those people. Somebody said, I swear you know my baby daddy. Yo, for some reason, this thing is not charging. Let's see why. But again, when we had these conversations, we have to understand that there are tons of people on here that live in a fairy tale world. And the drugs allow them to escape reality. This is why we call them zombies. Because they're in a comatose state. They genuinely believe that life is going to happen by doing absolutely nothing. It takes a very sick mentality to think like that. This is the zombie mind. The zombie is the one who wakes up every day thinking that something is going to dramatically happen for them and they haven't even planted any seeds. You expecting to eat from a garden that you never even planted. You expecting to drive this big fancy car that you never even put in work towards getting. You expect to live in this big old house that you never even done anything to purchase. You've never even made the sacrifices. This is the mind of a zombie. When you start fooling yourself and you start lying to yourself, then you start believing your own foolishness and then you get mad at the people that tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you people on record right now, someone going to hate me. You are not successful because you put on expensive things. You're not a winner because of the fact that you participated. That is the truth. Just because you participated don't make you a winner. It's the reality. Life is about winning and losing. You have to accept your losses too, but work towards winning. But the problem is we get participation awards for everything. We give out participation awards. Everybody wants a participation award. You know what? Feel sorry for me. Give me an award for just showing up. No, that's not how the real world operates. And as long as people have this mentality, they're going to continue to stay in this zombie state of mind. The zombies. We got to talk about them. And the reason why we got to talk about him is because it's true. He's in Jordans and polo every day, though. That's how a lot of people are. Some people don't really understand that looking like you have money don't make you have money. That's what's actually stopping you from having money. Let me say this again. Looking like you have money don't mean you have money. Ultimately, that's the reason why you don't have money, because you're spending all your money trying to look like you have money. That's what it is. Someone said it's a hood mentality. I agree. And the sad part about the hood mentality can be in any culture. Because I know white boys that do it. I know Spanish boys that do it. I know black guys that do it. I know all tons of cultures that do that. Right? They waste their money trying to look like they got money. Because what happens is you're looking for acceptance and from others when you haven't learned to accept yourself. We got to learn to love on ourselves, guys. We got to get rid of these zombies. It's a mentality. The zombie mentality is really conflicting the culture. Because the sad part is some of the people that have big platforms are zombies. And they're trolls too. Right? They create false narratives. As soon as you turn on YouTube nowadays, it's, hey, you, sitting there watching Q's podcast. I'll show you how to get rich in 4 days. Come on, man. This is the zombies. There's somebody sitting there right now watching that YouTube channel like, so all I got to do is start buying this course and I'm going to get rich overnight? Come on, man. That's a zombie mentality. That's a person that don't want to change their lives by doing what they have to do. That's the person that's looking to skip steps. That's the person that's living in that fairy tale world. That's the person that's lying to themselves. That's the person that's going to continuously make the most poorest decisions but still want the richest results. Let me say that again. You cannot continuously make the most poorest decisions and expect to have the richest results. There's no such thing. But again, we're going to do that. Why? Because society says, if I didn't make it, fake it. That's not truth. The zombies. We got to talk about them, guys. Get away from the zombies. These are the people that's forcing your mind to believe the fairy tale narratives, right? The narrative of yo, you know what? Let's just do this and put on. Yo, you got people that spend more time taking photos on vacations than they spend enjoying the vacation because they so worried about the pictures they're gonna post on social media. They're so caught up in that. You know what? I'm gonna just post mad pictures on social media. So girl, get me in this picture, man, get me in this picture because they're looking at social media and posting, ultimately looking for acceptance. I feel like a like nowadays is worth more than currency. People care about likes more than currency. That's sad. That's a harsh reality. People really care about likes and comments more than financial currency. The social currency is more than physical. That's crazy. This is the zombie mentality. Look at what we allowed our culture to become. Insecure people run around teaching new generations how to be insecure. And that's all it is. A bunch of insecure people. We've allowed our culture to diminish, to fall to nothing. Because as long as you have a Birkin bag on, no one cares where you live, right? Who the hell will you live at? As long as you got a Birkin bag, you the truth. That's a poor narrative. Very poor narrative. So as long as he got on expensive sneakers and shoes, he's the man. That's a very poor narrative. Very poor narrative. My sisters and my brothers, we got to stop blaming society and start blaming ourselves. We got to stop saying that this is the culture and it's not the culture. That's your culture that you've accepted. That's not my culture. And I'm going to go on record and say this. Just because a person may look like me, I don't think they are me. Call it what you want. I take care of my children. I'm not going to be yelling at somebody or forcing me to worry about taking care of my kids. I worry about if my kids ate at night. That's not my culture. My mother is well taken care of. That's not my culture. I don't know who said this is the culture. That's the zombies. They lead in the culture, and we're allowing it. And then we're mad at the results of their decisions. You have a person who is not even omnipresent in his mind telling you that we need to be a certain way. You have a man who's not taking care of his kid telling you how to be a father. You have a woman who hasn't had a serious relationship in her existence telling you how to be a woman. You have a person who is miserable telling you how to be in life. Come on, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You know what we say? This is the truth. We allowing all of these things to go down, and we're not seeing that this is the narrative. You have the most insecure people trying to lead the culture, and this is the issue. You have a woman who's telling you right now that I need a six-figure man. Girl, you need to get a job. Get a job. Yo, brother, you need a woman to let you submit to me. Brother, you need to become a man first. You need to become a man. You in here talking about she won't submit to me. Brother, you're not a man. A woman don't see you as that. I don't see you as that. You's a whole loser and you want a woman to let you lead her. Oh my goodness. I would pray that you would want your daughters to have a better man than you. These men out here conflicted and confused. They're zombies. These women, we have women that are zombies too. They're zombies. Right? How can you make a guy understand to be a man? I'm going to tell you something. A man has to want to become a man. It is a job that many people are born becoming. They're born a male. But a man is a job that you have to take on and learn by yourself. Let me say that again. There are a lot of people that don't understand you are born a male. But in order to call yourself a man, it is a job you have to do every single day. It is a job that you have to get a title of. You don't just wake up and become a man. It's a job that you have to be willing to do. You have to be consistent. You have to be honest. You have to stand by your word. It's leading your family to a better position. All of these things that these guys say, getting sex from a woman don't make you a man. That means I've been a man since I was 10, 11, 12. If getting sex is the totality or the summary of being a man, that means I've been a man a long time. I've been a man for a very long time. Ladies, manipulating men and getting men to spend money on you, if that makes you a woman, you a loser too. And let me say why I say that. The reason why I say that is because, ladies, you shouldn't be codependent on a man's economics. Because if you all get chances, guess what? Look at this bill. Why would you want to be in this situation? Right? Let me show you something. It's a $20 bill. Why would you want a man to hold a $20 bill or a bill over your head like, girl, you better do this or I'm not going to pay your phone bill. Girl, you better do this or I'm not going to pay your car note. Girl, you better not do this. Why would you want somebody to have a situation over you like that? Why would you want that? And then you're talking about, oh, he's controlling because he has the power to control you, which is this. It's this. It's this. This is why he controls you, because you overpower this. This is the power. And you believe that this means power. So therefore, that man will control you. And then you talk about how men ain't nothing. No, you don't have your life together, and you ultimately need a man. So guess what? You are every bit of a child. Grow up, sister. Stop getting mad at the men for being the way they are when you're not no better. It's the truth. But when you talk about a man, Jerry, you talk about the women, you hear crickets. Sisters, y'all got some work to do too. Man, we got some work to do too. When I shoot both ways. I got two hands. So they go at men and women. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I think we need to work on ourselves. There are a lot of women who are insecure. Going under a knife to get cut, to make your body look a certain way just to get attention from men, but still don't even have your life together is crazy. I don't care what nobody says. I'm going to say this again. You can hate me if you want to. Going under a knife to get your body cut open, to get attention from men, when your life is not together, is crazy as hell. I don't care what nobody say. I think that is crazy. Your life is twisted metal, but you're about to get a fake butt. Wow, that's insecure. But we're going to talk about it. And a lot of people are going to be mad at me for that. You will go under a knife and get your body chopped open and then go back to your bad living situation, right? Your bad life, ultimately to look for attention from men. Whoa. Sisters, I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to say this on record. A lot of women might not want to hear this, but the zombies are leading you guys wrong. Most of the guys that are very attracted to women who have fake body parts are very insecure men. And not only are they insecure, they want sex. They see you as intimacy. They do not see you as a wife. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Men, when a woman meets you and all you have is finances, notice the word I said, woman. When a woman, there's a difference between a boy and a man and a girl and a woman. I don't think in most cases people establish that. There's a big difference. You can have a 45-year-old boy. You can have a 50-year-old girl. But sometimes we say stuff like, yo, that ain't no grown man. That's a grown child. That's a grown little girl. That don't mean nothing. They're zombies. It's the zombies in the world today that we have the problems with. I'm going to tell you something, ladies. I would rather a big old brain than a big old fake behind. Why? Because that big old fake behind is doing what? And then you got to get it tuned up every so often. Come on, let's be honest. Let's have this real conversation. Men, you're going to hate me. If you want to be this super alpha man and you want a woman to allow you or to follow your lead, you got to show her some level of success. A woman is not stupid. I am a father of 2 daughters. There is no way I would want my daughters to be led by a guy who hasn't done anything with his life. No ambition, no drive, smoking weed all day, lazy, borrowing her car, think he's... Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And guess what? Because he can get intimate with her, you think you a man. Look at you, think you a man. Give him a little hug. You think he a man because he can get some sex. Let's give it up for the men, children who believe because they can get some sex, they're alpha men. Let me give it one more time for them. You gotta laugh because it takes a real zombie to believe because he can get intimate with a woman that makes him a strong man. I'm gonna tell you something. That's one of the easiest accomplishments in 2023. That ain't no accomplishment. That's a joke. You know, the serious part is when a man has a very strong woman standing next to him and she's willing to submit to him, that says volumes about this man. That says volumes. That's a real man we talking about, right? But we gonna say that because of the fact that he can manipulate women and he can tell them what they want to hear, ultimately get what he wants from them, that's a strong man. That's a weak loser. That's a coward. That ain't no man. And I'm tired of me having to lower my standards of what a man is in order to accommodate these losers. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it. And any man that's on my live right now, if you stand for something, you'll say you agree. Manipulating these women don't make you no man. You a zombie. You the problem. The zombies are the problems. That's what we talking about on this live today. The zombies. They're the problems. They're the ones that's making more problems. And that's the reality. They're fake men that's running around here talking about they men and they causing more problems. And then you have the women out here who are zombies too, who are causing more insecurities than women. Sister, you look good just the way you are. I would take a girl with a dark Caesar. At least it's your real hair. Nobody care about that. Because the alpha men that I know, they're very insecure. They're very secure with themselves. The little weirdo men is the ones that have the problems. But the real men don't get insecure to the fact that this is what it is. Girl, I don't mind your stretch marks. How are you dissing your girl for stretch marks when she done gave you a baby? Zombies. You want your girl to have the perfect body after she just gave you a big old child. You a 6'4" man, 280 pounds, and she about to push your child out. You know she gonna be stretched up. It is what it is. We talking about reality. I like the girl that be having like the little leopard, like marks on her butt. I think that's so cute. I think that's cute. The little cellulite. I think that's cute. We talking about real humans. I like real humans. I'm a Kendrick Lamar. I'm not one of these little mumble rappers. Right? I'm conscious to what I talk about. I like real women. I'm like, where's the real man at? Y'all want these fake superficial lives. That's why you have fake superficial results. You want these fake superficial lives. That's why you have these fake superficial results. Because you still living in this fairy tale world. Get yourself a little girl. She might got a little pudge on. She can get in the gym. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Because one thing you don't understand is you don't love yourself. That's why you forcing her to go up under the knife. You want her to be a certain way because of the fact that you don't feel secure with yourself. Some of these guys, I hate to say it, they were losers growing up, and now they're superficial guys who are looking for superficial women because they superficially corny. They're corny. They're corny. You looking at all the wrong things, brother. You haven't accomplished much of anything because of the fact that you're so captivated by perception and the fake realities of life. I think the wise man or the wise woman is the one who finds someone that loves them for them and ultimately build. The whole concept of coming into a relationship as adults is to build something. And the sad part about it is the more you realize that you're not building anything, the harder your older life is going to be. The whole concept of life in dating is being older is to understand that we have to come together to build. When you have two people that are just playing house, thinking that they're going to build something, they ultimately going to have bad results. And the reason why they're going to have bad results is because they're not preparing themselves for their older selves. Ladies and gentlemen, it is beautiful when you're young and your bodies are prominent, but what happens when her body starts dropping and your stomach starts growing? What happens then? Now you're going to see that it wasn't always about looks. It was never about looks. It was about a mentality. Two people that want to build and work together. Or society gonna tell you that she's no good, he's no good, ultimately running around from bedroom to bedroom to bedroom looking for results that don't exist. There are people who are still looking for people that don't even exist. But who's telling them this? The zombies. I'm gonna start calling these people zombies. Right? The one said, the more men I talk to, I'm learning they're not tripping off the things we women be thinking they do. They don't, because now you talking to Lynn, you talking to real men. That's why. See, what happens is you take the loser guys and then you make those guys the men. We have to establish what a woman is and what a man is, right? A woman don't care about who she don't care about all that garbage. If you're still worrying about what somebody said about you and you're on the phone, who said this? You're still a kid. You're still a child. You the zombie. You worried about all the wrong things. We at an age right now, we shouldn't be worried about those insecurities. I do not worry about what somebody do or don't say about me. I get people that get on my live that say you are amazing, and I get people that get on my live and say you're whack. But the one thing I will say, for every one person that say I'm whack, 100 people say I'm great. And the best thing about it is the guy that jumps on my live and say, you talk about man, you whack, I could take his girl. I hope you heard that. I'm gonna say it again. The guy that will jump on my live and say, yo, Q, you such a whack guy. All you do is talk about us. I can take your woman because I can see that you're the insecure brother. Rather than looking at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I should work on myself. You know what you'll say? Q's the problem. No, brother, Q's not the problem. Q is the messenger. But you want to kill the messenger because the messenger is telling the truth about you. Shame on you. Shame on you. You have to be conscious enough that you have to work on yourself, guys. Let's stop being insecure and worried about the standards of society. Ladies, walk around your little belly out. I don't care. Listen, real men don't care about that stuff. Listen, you think the perfect body exists forever without some kind of surgery, without some kind of implants, without something? I ain't got all the abs I used to have, but I'm still sexy. And I say that with confidence. And the reason why I say that is because, guys, you got to work on loving yourself. Some of the most attractive people is ones who walk around with confidence, right? I don't worry about somebody that's doing, they show off their body. That's their prerogative. If you're that confident with your body, God bless you. The only time it's a problem is when you're doing it for clickbait and trolling and you're looking for attention. That's when it's a problem. But if a woman is confident in her body, and she wants to post on social media, God bless her. I don't knock it. But if you know that's what you're doing for attention, and when guys are hitting on you like crazy, don't say these dudes are thirsty. Say that you putting out thirst traps, sister. Call it what it is. Don't talk about no thirst trapping when you're the one thirst trapping. We're going to call it what it is. Don't say, oh, these guys are mad thirsty. I remember I had a homegirl, we went to the club, she was half naked. Sure enough, she goes to the bathroom, a guy grabs her arm, she goes, oh, these dudes she come back to us like, yo, these dudes is mad thirsty. I said, sister, you knew what it was when you came out like that. You knew what it was going to hit for. Now what we going to do, go fight them? We're going to go fight them. So I'm going to go lose what I've built because of the fact that God grabs your arm because you half naked and you look like you want attention. Come on, we're going to call it what it is. We're going to call it what it is. If a man thinks that way, it's because of the fact that he's perceiving you a certain way, you look a certain way. It's just the truth. You cannot get mad at the fact that certain guys look at you a certain way when you carry yourself a certain way, sister. It's weird, right? When you look a certain way, you're going to be treated a certain way. If I walk into a store, right, with gloves on, a hoodie on, a mask on, I think they're going to call the police because I look like I'm about to steal. You walk around half naked and men are flirting and hitting on you, it's because you look like you want their attention. Call a spade a spade. Someone call in 516-253-1150. Again, 516-253-1150. Someone pin that number. I need someone to call in right now. Talk to me nice. Let's talk about this thing right here. We are talking about the zombies. They're weirdos. They're so weird. And we allow them to lead. That's the dilemma. They're leading us. These are the people that have the biggest platforms. They're talking about all kind of foolishness. They get on podcasts. You're an alpha man, right? Watch this. This is the alpha man on podcast today. Here it is. Here's this new alpha man on podcast. It kills me when I see this. And I want to say this straight up. This is the new alpha man on podcast. She should be submitting to you. And if she's not submitting to you, she's not a real woman. A real man will know that a woman is submitted to them. If she don't want to do it, kick her to the curb. Man, that's a sick brother, man. That man is sick. Sick. That sounds sick, bro. She's not submitting to you because you're weak. It's the truth. That's why she's not submitting to you. It's not nothing to do with what you are, it's what you're not. It's not what you're posing as. It's not your yelling. It's not your screaming. Because I can go to a woman like this, hey, baby, I need you to let me lead. She gonna do it. And why is that? Because I'm gonna lead by example. I'm gonna be consistent with what I say. I'm not gonna tell her a lie just to get some intimacy from her. We start the relationship off wrong from day one, telling them what they want to hear opposed to what they need to hear. This is why we have so much problems with these men and women relationships. A lot of the men don't realize that we are dealing with very emotional creatures and we take advantage of the emotions of a woman. So therefore, when you have the results, we complain about it, but we allow the women to have these issues psychologically because of the fact that we started from the beginning. And then when I hold the man accountable, they get mad at the women. How are we getting mad at the women when we're the ones that's supposed to be setting the standards? We're the heads, right? Brothers, we the heads. We're the heads. Let's just call it what it is. But we're going to get mad. Why are we going to get mad? Because the woman is not willing to submit to something that's not considered an alpha. Brother, you are not an alpha because you say it. You're an alpha because that's what you are. And I'm going to just call it what it is. Right? Supposed to. Agree. We're supposed to be the heads. That don't mean you're going to be the head because you're supposed to be. There are a lot of women I feel like are better heads. This is dying. I don't know why it's dying. 10%. It says it's plugged in, but it's not working. Hold on 1 second, guys. There you go. For some reason, it keeps saying 10%. It keeps like going down. Yeah, but again, we got to have this conversation, guys. We got to talk about the things that really matter. It's easier to point the finger. But when we not see that we're being led by zombies. The world is full of zombies. People that are telling you to behave a certain way. And a lot of times, I hate to say this, ladies, the women that you get advice from do not do what they tell you. She'll be like, girl, if I was you, I would leave him. She only saying that because she's single. Girl, if I was you, I would never settle for that. You know why she ain't settling for? Because that man puts his hands on her. She ain't going to tell you that. She ain't going to tell you that. She going to tell you some false narratives. She going to tell you a lot of false lies and cap and garbage because of the fact that she want you to be in the same miserable situation as her. She going to tell you, girl, there's this superhero out there waiting for you. That is a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. There is no such thing as a superhero, ladies. There is no such men. There are no such thing as a superhero woman. There are good men out there and there are good women. The issue is you have to be conscious enough to see the flaws in everybody. Everyone has flaws. When a person thinks that they can find something that's flawless, they are living in a fairy tale world. That is a false illusion. And the zombies are out there telling you that, girl, you don't need to be with him. If I was you, I would have been like, yeah, because she going to find herself by herself dealing with cats. And that's the truth, because she's telling you what the same narrative that she wants you to be in, because she's in that same boat. So I will hate to say this, and I'm going to say this, and somebody's going to get mad. There are tons of women in the world right now who have wasted their time with dealing with the wrong guys, and now a lot of the men do not see the value that they think they have on themselves anymore, and they're mad at the world, and they talk crap about women. Men, excuse me. Let me say that one more time. There are a lot of women out here who wasted a lot of their great, great time with the value was so high to a man. And notice I say to a man, and now what happens is they ultimately run out of their steam, and then they look at all the men they wasted their time with, and they say stuff like, yo, men ain't nothing. No, your sister, your choices of men was bad. And now I'm going to talk about the men. There are a lot of men out here right now that talk about women ain't nothing, but yet and still they're the ones that wasted a lot of their time chasing behind the wrong sisters, superficial. She had to have the fake butt. She had to have the this, the that, the that, the that. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? She had nothing inside of her brain. And that's the problem. We can't sit back every day and allow these zombies to lead us and tell us false narratives, ultimately creating more confliction and confusion. There are a ton of people in this world that are confused. They don't know what's from reality to the illusion. They don't know what's fake or what's real. They're stuck in a fairy tale world. We got to allow these zombies to stop leading us and telling us what we need to hear, or what we want to hear, rather. We got to start hearing the truth. Ladies, you got to start making better choices on men and stop complaining about the man when you've seen all the red flags in the beginning. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of hearing it because it don't make no sense that within 3 minutes I can meet your guy and be like, oh my God, she got the devil. Right? This is the issue. But guess what we're going to do? We're going to blame the man. We're going to blame the woman. Come on, man. I mean, yo, this girl showed me the other day all 3 of her boyfriends. She sat down with me. She explained all 3 of her boyfriends to me. Her 3 different boyfriends. They came at 3 different times in her life. She dated one guy from 25 to 30, right? She dated a second guy from 31 to 34, right? And then she dated a third guy from 35 to about 40. Everything she explained to me in her relationships, you know what I said to her? You dated little boys the whole time. First boy borrowing a car, living up in her house. Second boy borrowing her car, living up in her house, borrowing her money, right? Third guy, he don't do nothing, barely got a job, love playing video games. I was like, damn, well, you shot for those dudes at the playground? I was like, where you get them dudes from? Playground? Let me guess, you went to the what's that place that they drop the kids off at? Daycare? You went to daycare and found these dudes? I'm like, are you kidding me? This don't even sound like a man to me. And then you saying you dated men. I'm like, so that's your standard of what a man is. I would hate to see what I am to you. Because that would make no sense. You talking about this guy was borrowing your car, borrowing your money, moved up in your place, not helping you pay bills. This guy was playing video games. This guy smoking weed all day. I'm like, oh my God. Damn. Right? That's what he said. He said, damn. That's sad. But guess what we gonna do? We gonna blame those dudes. We're not gonna blame you for making the poor decisions, right? We ain't gonna blame you for trying to change something that wasn't changeable. That's the problem. And we waste a lot of our energy and our time on doing that. That's the major dilemma in 2023. Tons of people are wasting their time on things that they know has expired. Whether relationships, whether friendships, whether everything in life, things expire. And you have to be conscious enough to know that things take a change. You cannot make somebody want to be their greater self. You cannot kick a horse that is completely dead and that's turned over, croaked. It is dead. But we're going to kick the dead horse. And kick the dead horse. And kick the dead horse. And kick the dead horse. Ultimately wonder why we're not getting great results. Ladies and gentlemen, the verdict is in. And I'm going to say this. The reason why you've had bad relationships is because you chose bad relationships. And that goes to you men, and that goes to you women. Hold yourself accountable to the poor decisions you made, and then you can move on and be a better human in the next situation. Most people go into the last relationship complaining about the old relationship, not seeing what they did in the old relationship. Let me tell you this. In order for someone to heal, you have to look at yourself like this in the mirror and say, why did this happen to me? Why did this person feel so comfortable with treating me this way? Why did I allow it? What was wrong with me that ultimately made me deal with the situation? Because the reality of all things is, I hate to say this, a bully, a thief, all of those negative things across the board, they know who to do it to. So when someone has taken advantage of you, it's something that you may have given off or allowed them to believe that they're able to take advantage of you. And that's the truth. Sometimes when you keep looking for the good in something that keeps showing you bad, you're going to ultimately get the bad because there was never nothing good. You keep trying to make yourself believe that there is something good. There is nothing good there. You've lied to yourself all these years. You've made yourself believe these false narratives. You told yourself that she's gonna change, he's gonna change. First off, sometimes look at the way you got the relationship. Some of y'all got the relationship from cheaters. You took a woman from a man. She's been cheating. I would never trust her. Ever in life. Ever in life, trust her. You took her away from her cheating man. Ladies, you took him away cheating on his woman. And then you're mad at the results that you've gotten. You gotta scratch your head on that one. That's a brain scratcher. You gotta realize we gotta start making better choices. We gotta stop making all these poor decisions and ultimately wondering why we're getting negative results. Negativity comes from negativity, guys. We gotta start seeing that we're putting out a lot of negative energy, ultimately getting negative results. You will never get positive results by constantly putting yourself into negative spaces. You can put yourself into a negative space psychologically, right? The mind can be in a negative space. And a lot of us are in a negative space because we cannot see what we allowed and what we've done. Even when a person has, you tell me right now, girl, he stole money from me. You knew he was a thief. Come on, he been a thief. Like, you trusted him with your bank account. So who's the fault? Who you blaming? I'm blaming the person that gave the person access to the bank account. Don't call it what it is. But if you say that, you're the enemy. Kill the messenger. Guys, don't kill the messenger. We're just here to tell the truth. No more talking about men and women and keep creating false narratives. I will sit here and say this, and I'll be the first person to say that. Every relationship I ever been in that was bad is because it was bad in the beginning. I just ignored it because I ultimately saw the physicality and I liked it the way it looked and tried to create something that was never there. And then I end up getting exactly what I got in. I got what I signed up for. I signed up for a girl that was lazy and just attractive and ultimately cried about it after. That's what I see happens a lot. A lot of the times, for my people on live right now, I want y'all to answer this question. A lot of the times when you've dated, being honest, I want y'all to raise your hand now. Who saw the red flags in the beginning but ignored it? I'm raising my hand. Who saw the red flags in the beginning of the relationship but they ignored it? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. I'm guilty. We're going to see who else going to raise their hand and tell the truth. I raised my hand. Somebody else said me. Someone else said truth speaks. I see 2. I see 3. I see 4. I see 5. I see 6. I see 7. I see 8. I see 9. What I'm trying to get at is this, guys. Everything we go through in life sometimes is by choice. We choose it, but we don't allow ourselves to be accountable for our decisions. And as long as you continue to play the victim, you will never see that things could have been different if you allowed it to be different by choosing different. Things will never be different if you don't choose different. If you keep putting your hand in the same atmospheres, don't cry about the results. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes, and I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this good. Sometimes in life, listen to this good, right? Sometimes in life, it's not only the fact that you're casting out a certain bait. Sometimes it's the ocean that you're picking for your fish. You might be in the wrong oceans looking for the mates. And a lot of us cast out the wrong bait. So in order for you to get a better selection, maybe it's time to go to a different space. There are places in the world right now where you can definitely get better options. But your options are going to continue to be your options as long as you keep staying in your comfortable environments. You keep crying about the fact that some of these guys aren't this and some of these women aren't this, but you keep going right back to the same spot, wondering why you're getting the same exact fish. You won't change your location. You're too comfortable. You want a hood dude. I want a gangster. I want a thug. That's why you're getting those results. Because you want a thug. You want a gangster. You want a big booty insecure girl that all she do is post pictures about her butt. And that's what you're going to get. And they get mad at the results that she was auditioning for the village the whole time. But you're going to get mad at that. Your insecure behind chose that person. You keep making those decisions. Be conscious of your choices. and understand that you are every decision you make. If you keep making and keep fishing in the same ponds, you're going to realize you're going to get the same results. And I say this and tell somebody to tell somebody. If you keep choosing to fish in small ponds, you're going to keep getting small results. If you want these big old great people in life, you got to go out to the motions. You got to make yourself uncomfortable because you're going to get a lot of turbulence in that boat. Right? Not turbulence, rather. You're going to get a lot of ocean waves and you're going to get a lot of stirring up in that boat, right? But you got to be comfortable to fish there and understand that you'll get better results by changing your environments, changing your people you're around, and going to some new places. But again, if you keep staying in these environments, you're going to get the same results. And I'm telling you to tell a friend to tell a friend. If you don't understand that, don't cry about your results. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing every day but expecting different results. Stop allowing these zombies to lead you and understand that we got to lead by example. Stop allowing them to lead us and we're going to start leading them. Remember, you are what you support, you are where you go, and you are the things you do. So in order for us to change our lives, we got to be around different energy and allow ourselves to learn from different people. Till next time, guys, you already know what we do. Don't let that go over your head.